What if I told you the single most important rule of business is a lie? From the day we get our first job, we're taught one thing: more. Sell more products, get more customers, make more money. It's the engine of the entire economy. But there's a company, a billion-dollar company, that was built on the exact opposite idea. An idea so simple and so insane that everyone thought their founder was crazy. Their big marketing idea was to take out a full-page ad in the New York Times on Black Friday, the single biggest shopping day of the year, and tell everyone, "Don't buy this jacket." This is the story of a founder who hated the idea of business and built an empire with a strategy that should have bankrupted him. A strategy of making products so good your customers never have to buy them again. By the end of this video, you will understand the hidden economic model of anti-consumerism and how the most successful companies build wealth, not by selling you more, but by selling you less. Let's get into it. First, you have to understand the normal way of doing things, the system that almost every company on Earth uses. For decades, the name of the game has been something called planned obsolescence. It's a simple idea. Companies intentionally design their products to break down, wear out, or become useless after a certain amount of time. This used to be a good thing, believe it or not. Back in the day, it encouraged innovation and kept prices low. A company would release a new, better version of a toaster every year, and you'd upgrade. But today, that system is failing us. It's no longer about making things better. It's about making you buy again. Think about your smartphone. It works perfectly for 2 years, and then suddenly the battery life is terrible. It gets slow. New software updates don't seem to work right. That's not an accident. That's a business model. It's in everything from printers that stop working after a certain number of pages to fast fashion clothes that fall apart after 3 washes. The entire system is designed to make you a repeat customer, whether you want to be or not. It's a cycle of buying, using, and throwing away. And for a long time, nobody questioned it. It was just how business worked. And then you have Yvon Chouinard, the founder of the outdoor clothing company Patagonia. And Yvon was not a businessman. In fact, he hated businessmen. He was a rock climber, a surfer, an outdoorsman. His focus wasn't on profit margins or quarterly earnings. His focus was on one thing: making gear that would not fail him when he was hanging off the side of a cliff. Failure wasn't an inconvenience. It was a life or death situation. So he made the best climbing pitons in the world, and his small company grew. Soon he started making clothing. Rugby shirts that could stand up to the abuse of climbing, jackets that could keep you warm in the worst conditions. And his business got bigger and bigger. But as it grew, Yvon started to feel a deep sense of frustration, a silent, creeping stress that had nothing to do with money. He was doing everything right by business standards. His company was successful. People loved his products. But he saw the dark side of the industry he was now a part of. He saw the waste, the pollution from the factories, the throwaway culture that his own industry was promoting. This was his conflict. He had built a successful company, but he was starting to hate what that meant. He felt stuck. He was part of a system that celebrated waste, and he had no idea how to get out. Every business book, every expert, every single rule told him the same thing: to grow, you have to sell more stuff. But Yvon looked at the world and thought, what if that's the entire problem? To understand what Yvon did next, you need to understand the metaphor that secretly runs the entire consumer economy. It's called the Treadmill of Consumption. Most companies want you on this treadmill. They sell you a product, it breaks or goes out of style, you feel the need to replace it. You run a little faster on the treadmill to buy the next one. It's a cycle that never ends, and it's incredibly profitable. Yvon Chouinard decided he was going to break this treadmill. He wanted to build a completely different machine. His system wasn't based on getting you to buy more. It was based on 3 simple, revolutionary ideas. First, build to last. Instead of planned obsolescence, Patagonia focused on what you could call planned permanence. They obsessed over quality. They used the toughest fabrics, the strongest zippers, the most durable stitching. Their goal was to make a jacket so well that you would only ever need to buy one. This is financial suicide for a normal company. If your customers only buy one jacket, how do you stay in business? That leads to the second, even crazier idea. Repair, don't replace. Patagonia did something unheard of. They told their customers, when our product breaks, please don't buy a new one. Instead, send it back to us and we'll fix it for you, for free. They opened the largest garment repair facility in North America. They put repair guides online, teaching you how to fix your own gear. They even sent a truck around the country called the Worn Wear Wagon that would pull into towns and fix people's old jackets on the spot. This is the opposite of the treadmill. This is actively trying to keep you from buying more. And the third idea was the final nail in the coffin of traditional business. Resell, don't trash. Yvon realized that even the best gear eventually gets replaced or outgrown. So what happens to it then? Usually it ends up in a landfill. So Patagonia started a program where you could trade in your used gear for store credit. Then they would clean it, repair it, and sell it on their own website as used. They started actively competing with themselves. They gave customers a choice: buy a new jacket for full price or a perfectly good used one for half the price. No sane business school professor would ever tell you to do this. You're not just slowing down the treadmill, you're building an exit ramp off of it. So you have this company that builds products to last forever, that repairs them for free, and that sells used versions to compete with its own new products. By all logic, Patagonia should have failed. And for years, people in the business world saw them as a quirky, niche company, a bunch of hippies who didn't understand how the economy really worked. But Yvon was building something much more powerful than a sales engine. He was building trust. Customers started to realize that Patagonia wasn't just trying to take their money, they were on their side. And then came the turning point, the moment that changed everything. In 2011, on Black Friday, the high holy day of consumerism, Patagonia took out that full-page ad in the New York Times. It showed the picture of their best-selling jacket, and in huge letters, the headline read, "Don't buy this jacket." The ad went on to explain the environmental cost of making that jacket, the water used, the carbon emitted, the waste created. It asked people to think twice before buying anything. The advertising world was shocked. This was commercial heresy. It was like Coca-Cola running an ad that said, "Don't drink soda." Patagonia's finance team braced for a disaster. But the opposite happened. Sales didn't go down, they skyrocketed. They went up 30% that year and kept climbing. That ad was the moment the world finally understood what Yvon was doing. He wasn't selling jackets, he was selling a philosophy, an identity. People weren't just buying a piece of clothing, they were buying into an idea. The idea that you could own nice things without being wasteful. The idea that a company could be honest even if it cost them a sale. This is not a personal failure. You haven't been doing it wrong. The system was designed to make you feel this way. But Patagonia proved that there was another way. They showed the world that you could get off the treadmill and build a real, lasting business by telling people to buy less, not more. So, how can we apply this to our own lives? This isn't just about jackets. It's a different way to think about money, value, and the things we own. The Patagonia model isn't about extreme minimalism or never buying anything new. It's about being intentional. It's a framework built on 3 simple actions. First, what to stop doing. Stop the impulse buy. The treadmill of consumption is fueled by emotion, the flash sale, the limited time offer, the desire for something new right now. The easiest way to step off is to create a pause. The rule is simple. If you want to buy something non-essential over, say, $50, wait 30 days. Put it on a list. If you still want it just as much 30 days later, then you can consider it. 9 times out of 10, the impulse will be gone. Second, what to start doing. Start calculating the cost per use. A cheap fast fashion shirt costs $10. You wear it 5 times before it falls apart. The cost per wear is $2. A high-quality Patagonia-style shirt costs $50, but you wear it 100 times over 10 years. The cost per wear is 50 cents. Which one is actually cheaper? This mindset shifts you from thinking about the initial price tag to thinking about long-term value. You stop buying things that are cheap and start investing in things that last. Finally, what to understand long-term. Understand that every dollar you spend is a vote. When you buy that $10 shirt, you are casting a vote for the fast fashion business model. You're voting for planned obsolescence. You're voting to keep the treadmill running. When you buy a product from a company that offers lifetime warranties, free repairs, or a trade-in program, you are casting a vote for a different system entirely. You are voting for quality, for sustainability, for a company that respects you more than your wallet. This is how you create change, not just in your bank account, but in the economy itself. Patagonia's story proves that real wealth isn't built on endless transactions, but on lasting value and unbreakable trust. Yvon Chouinard never set out to become a billionaire. He just wanted to make good gear and do the right thing. In the end, he did both. In 2022, instead of selling the company or taking it public, he gave it away. He transferred ownership of his $3 billion company to a trust designed to fight climate change. All future profits, forever, would go towards protecting the planet. He proved that the ultimate goal of business doesn't have to be more. The goal can be enough. This isn't about feeling guilty for the things you buy. It's about feeling powerful. You have the control to choose the system you want to be a part of. You can get off the treadmill, one intentional decision at a time. If this video changed the way you think about the things you buy, hit the subscribe button and join us. We release animated documentaries every week exploring the hidden economics that run the world. Comment below with one item you own that was truly built to last. I'd love to see what you guys have. And stick around, because in our next video, we're going to explore the story of how a single typo on a spreadsheet managed to bankrupt a 200-year-old bank. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.